one? Yeah. All right, thank you very much. Before we start, I would like everyone to come to the front to be at the seat where one of the colored post-its are. So please. And also, this is going to be a topless meeting, meaning no laptops. Just sit down, take your pen, take your post-its. That's going to be it. There's still a few people in the back who I would like to invite to come to the front. Come on, don't be shy. Please. My eyes are quite bad, yeah. I'm not so well for the back row, so it's good to have you a bit closer here. Okay, guys, thank you very much for that already. Before I start, I want to say I've been quite impressed by all the passion over here, but at the same time quite some very much hand-on entrepreneurship. And I really feel like a puppy in here because I'm not really that hemp entrepreneur yet, but I'm very grateful for the WHC organization to give me the opportunity to present my idea, which is still really in a very early stage. So thank you for that. And I'm very grateful for having you all here and thinking along with me. This is really the craziest thing I've ever done when I'm being here today. I'm a project manager and a consultant, and actually throughout all my life, when I start something, I basically know where it's going to end, and I know what I'm going to make of it, and I know what my client's going to make of it. And this time, I don't really even know where to start yet. It's just I'm here. But at the same time, I've never felt driven towards something as much as I feel right now, working with hemp, starting to work with hemp. So I decided to just go along with it and trust where it leads me, and well, so far it's led me to some good places and some good food, really. And I'll see how that works out. But it's really getting somewhere. I do feel that. And what I'll be presenting to you today is really a vision, an idea, a vision that needs a lot of steps, a lot of work, but at the same time a vision that I think is necessary to really get hemp back in business on a large scale. So let's see where that gets us. To start off with, I am a consultant in sustainability, and I designed the MBO route planner in the Netherlands, which is as much as like the sustainability roadmap, and I advise companies and help companies to get their sustainability projects done. And just to give you a few examples, that would be like the fire department, you know, consulting them about, you know, not using all that drinking water to turn off the fires, but rather the water that just comes from the sky. Well, there's a lot of things, you know. Another client of me was like doing construction of cars. You know, what paint are you using? How healthy is that for your employees? Well, there's a lot more. But actually, this is the first one that triggered me to start thinking about hemp. Some funeral undertakers that asked me to design the green funeral for them. Their clients were asking, like, I want a green sustainable funeral, and how can we arrange that? And then obviously you start looking at the coffin at the first time. And first you look at, you know, the wood that's surrounded and all the formaldehydrates that are used to kind of glue this together and then put this in the ground, you know. So, but later on I started thinking about the inside of the coffin as well, which is usually made of cotton. So I started researching cotton and obviously found out that there's a much more sustainable alternative for cotton, which is hemp. So that was really my first meeting with hemp. So hemp for textile. And then on a more personal level, I lived 30 days without plastic. I was terrified after seeing this plastic ocean, and I thought, well, there should be a way to live without plastic. So let's just try it for about 30 days. And well, this is a little bit of what I've been doing. Like refilling my detergent. I finally found like one shop in the whole Amsterdam where I could do that, which is great. Going to a party with my friends, and apparently nowadays when you go to a club, everyone uses plastic cups. Even when you order champagne, you get it in a plastic cup. Imagine people using 8 cups, maybe, an evening. High quality plastic, things that you could use for like hundreds of years. So I finally found this tea mug, which was like the only non-plastic thing in the entire club, so I was holding on to my tea mug for the whole evening, and of course having a great time that evening. Well, I couldn't eat any nuts that were packaged because all the nuts and stuff are packaged in plastic nowadays. It was really hard to find them not wrapped in plastic. Couldn't wear any stockings, which was hard in November, so that was jeans for me for a month. And, well, actually, I made this really stupid mistake, just buying a net of tangerines, you know, not really even thinking about it, getting home, looking at it, like, of course, we don't even make our nets of natural material anymore, even that's plastic. And that's actually one of the scariest ones, because that's the ones that fish and birds and all the sea creatures really get caught in. So, after this month, I started thinking, you know, I could continue this, I could become like a real activist, you know, don't use plastic, telling them that to everyone all day. Well, we should look for an alternative, which is much more the positive way of living. And again, looking for alternatives, looking for bio-based alternatives for plastics, again, I came into a picture campus, which I think is one of your companies, isn't it? No, I think so. So again, that brought me to hemp. And then even on a more personal level, I started becoming more aware of what I put in my body, what I'm eating, and what I eat, really. Got into the superfoods, and again, there was hemp. So I really couldn't get around it anymore. You know, hemp was all around me. And once you know this, you know, once you work in sustainability and you know this solution hemp can offer, it really doesn't let go of you anymore. So I really found out that this could be, obviously, the answer to many of the sustainability problems we're having. I'm not even going to explain you here, it's just a couple of them, and I'm sure all of you knows how that could be. So, where does that leave me, living in the Netherlands? What is the connection with the Netherlands with hemp? Well, actually, we used to have a very strong connection with hemp. I could even say we wouldn't be as prosperous if we wouldn't have had hemp. Some of you may know the United East Indian Company used all hemp for their sails, for their ships, for their ropes. I'm not proud of everything the United East Indian Company did, but at least this is something I'm really proud of. They did know how to use their natural resources. The image of hemp in the Netherlands has changed quite a bit nowadays. We used to use like 50 to 100 tons hemp per ship. Now we use about 256,000 kilos of marijuana in the Netherlands. Obviously, we have this progressive thing about the coffee shops, which is not actually as progressive as you think, because yes, you can smoke weed, yes, you can go to a coffee shop, but then at the same time you cannot produce it. So this is a real strange thing, and the government is really having kind of closing their eyes, you know, taxing the coffee shops, but at the same time putting the people who grow hemp into jail. Well, that's a whole different discussion I will not get into right now. But yes, we have marijuana in the Netherlands, but hemp in the Netherlands is hardly there. Let's tell you a little bit more about the Netherlands. We have 16 million people. We're quite crowded, but still we have about 67% agricultural land. I found out, surprisingly, that we have the lowest ranking soil and water quality of the European Union. And that's mostly due to all our stock, the phosphor and the nitrogen that's in the ground. So that might actually be a chance for hemp at the same time. And we could grow hemp in the summer. Actually, we're doing a little bit of that. So there's no frost between April and September. And as far as I know, frost is quite killing for hemp. So at least in that period, we can grow hemp quite successfully. Actually, we don't. We mostly grow corn, wheat, and potatoes. And then there is 0.08 hectares of hemp in the Netherlands, which is a start, which is good. You know, we can grow hemp, it's legal, it's even legal to sell seeds in the Netherlands, although it's not happening. But yes, there is a little bit of hemp already, but really if you realize what the potential is, this is really outrageous how little that is. the hemp that we do grow in the north of the Netherlands is used for quite low value applications, so such as the stables for horses or cattle, and then the structure feed for cattle, some oils, some leather oils, some fibers for housing, and then also just a real little bit for some hempcrete. And I think in the Netherlands, perhaps like everywhere in the world, we are really in a chicken and egg situation. There is a lack of supply because there's little knowledge. There's little knowledge, especially a lot of knowledge about this low value, reasonably low value applications, but not a lot about applications like food and textile and medicine. There is a lack of processing equipment and chains for these higher scale applications. And then obviously it's not profitable on a small scale, you know. So everyone you would ask to do that, they would always say, you know, we can't get the equipment here for just a couple of t-shirts or whatever. We're really in that chicken and egg situation. And then there's also a lack of demand. The consumers are not aware at all of the possibilities, which is surprising because I have a lot of sustainability, friends who work in sustainability, and none of them really were aware actually, because now they are. That you could even make clothes from hemp and so many other things. So, and the thing is that when they are aware, you know, I had a session with them, they all go home, where can I get this? I want a bag, I want shoes, I want a shirt, I want the food, where can I get this? It's not really that hard to motivate people to buy it, you know, it's such a good story, it sells itself, but they're just not aware. So there's this chicken and egg situation, because getting hemp to the more high-level applications is really, it's not something you do overnight, especially with the processing and the equipment. So how to get through that? I think it's quite a challenge, so I just called it the Hemp Challenge. We have a Hemp Challenge to work on. The goal, my goal with Hemp Challenge is to boost the cultivation and the use of industrial hemp in the Netherlands. And I say Netherlands now, but really it's all around the world, but you gotta start somewhere. But if everyone says like, you know, I'll join you in my country, we can make this a lot bigger. First, obviously, as a sustainable alternative to unsustainable and imported resources. And secondly, and very important, also in the Netherlands, as a job creator and as a reintroduction of the manufacturing industry. In the Netherlands, we have like consultants. You know, I'm guilty of that myself. So many people telling me things, so many people knowing things, but we are really losing our manufacturing industry, which might become more and more and more important over the years as we are getting scarce on resources. So we need some hands-on manufacturing industry and create more jobs. I think with those two goals, we have quite a good business case for the Netherlands. But then, where to start? This is what I've been thinking about for the past few months. Where to start? And then the thing is, when you go to the farmers, you say, yeah, well, I don't mind, you know, school hemp, I don't really know much about it, I don't mind growing it, but what's it going to get me? You know, where am I going to process it? How much am I going to get for it? Who is going to use it? You know, when you go to the companies, I just noted a few here, like the bigger producing companies. Hema is actually quite well-known Dutch brand. I think it would really fit in their collection with the Dutch connotation, obviously, of hemp. But then they're going to say, you know, do we have to go through this whole process, and why do it? And customers are not even asking for it. You know, this is probably going to be a bit more expensive. It's going to cost us a lot of time, and you know, why go through the process? This cotton is working for us anyway. And then the customer doesn't even know where to get it, doesn't really bother, doesn't know much about it. So where to start in this chain? And obviously between the farmer and the producers, there's obviously a very large and complicated chain of all the manufacturing. There's a man that really inspired me. He's called Gunther Pauli. He set up the Blue Economy, which is about a very new way of living together, working together, but at the same time, you know, being more prosperous as a society. And when I get excited, you know, he says, don't try to be the wave, ride the wave. See what waves there are here in society right now, and ride them, use them. So I started looking, so what are the waves, what are the trends in the Netherlands? Also start off with local production. People are getting more interested in local production. They start realizing what the shipping costs. They want to know what their what they're buying. That's actually the first one. The third one. Know what you buy, where you get it, who has made it, how it was made, whether there were pesticides in there. And then also the respect for the farmer. There's actually even a dating show now, a dating program on TV, which is called Farmer Searches Wife. And then we have like this 12 farmers, and we follow them every week, and they have loads of women obviously wanting to be with this farmer. So the farmer is really becoming sexy again, you know, and maybe in like Slovenia they've always had this status. As I notice right now, there's much more respect in Slovenia already for people having their own land, producing their own things. In the Netherlands, that's been different. You know, we rather trusted the supermarkets, the stuff that was wrapped and that had some kind of sticker on it, but that's really, really changing right now. So that's, I think, the way we really got to ride. Another thing is the sharing economy. This is something we are good at in the Netherlands, and that's perhaps because we have little space. There's more and more people sharing their car right now. So you have little parking space, parking is expensive, why not just share it? People even swapping houses. My house is being rented out to a couple of tourists at this time. So, you know, you don't need to own things. You want the possibility to use things when you want them. And we start getting that idea. And then lastly, participation. You know, you're not just donating money to a good fund or whatever, you want to participate in what you're doing. And this is also something that was stimulated by the government, as our funds for instance, healthcare are really being pulled back, social funds, and rather they say we're going to a participation society, which is obviously a nice word to say, you know, we're draining the social system. But well, we are forced into participation, and people are more interested to participate. For instance, with crowdfunding. You know, you're not just saying, here's the money. No, you wanna participate in what you're doing. You want to be an ambassador. You want to say, I'm part of this. This is what I've built. So that's another wave. I think we could excellently ride. So again, you know, going back to my question, where to start? I think we should start on the right with the consumer, and not just the consumer, but the crowd. Make people feel they own it. Make people feel this is something they want to be part of. And when we start with the crowd, we'll go the other direction. The crowd will start demanding from the manufacturers, from the large companies, do you have hemp? You know, maybe in an imperative way, maybe also in a positive way. You know, if you got hemp, you know, I'll buy this. I want to have this. This is actually quite cool. I'm quite sexy doing this good thing for the world, wearing hemp. And then obviously, as soon as the manufacturers start wanting this stuff, making this, it won't be hard to get the farmers to grow it, because there's such a good business case for your land as well. So that's the route I want to go. So the idea, there's actually two streams to do this. The first one is, as I said, to raise attention and to trigger the demand, to start with the client, with the consumer. And people want to touch things, they want to smell things, they need to know what it's about. It's a bit of an abstract story, you can see the plants and all that, but you just want to feel the thing. So we gotta design a product, a flagship consumer product. It's one thing that really conveys everything that hemp has, the strength, the fact that it's so natural. So we gotta design this product. It's gotta be a bit simple though, you know, it shouldn't be something we have to work on for like 20 years. Just some really good quality, simple, but sexy thing that conveys the message of hemp. Secondly, obviously, we need a ludicrous campaign around it. A very funny, weird, crazy, sexy campaign which conveys everything that hemp's got. I'll come back to that later. And then I would like to crowdfund this project to have a kickstart. And crowdfunding, you told us about that earlier. There's one thing I find very important about crowdfunding, and that is that people become owners, become ambassadors. That for me is the most important reason to crowdfund it. Because, you know, you can say like, you know, pay your whatever, $25 right now, and you will have, you know, if we have enough money, we can start growing, and we can get the machine here, and then we can produce, you know, you can come to the harvest in September, and we'll start producing in November. Actually, you can come by in the factory and see how that goes, and in January you will have your socks, perhaps, or whatever it's going to be. Make people own this revolution. And then finally, obviously, once you've done that, we can start really getting the chain back together. develop the equipment, the knowledge, and the chains to produce hemp again on a high level in the Netherlands. And then obviously there's the second part, which is very important for really making it ground, for really making it big, which is establish a consortium of manufacturers. And this is perhaps going to be very much as the Konopko presentation of yesterday, just establish this cooperation. I'm not going to go into that too much today, but it's basically the obvious things. I connect all the Dutch hemp actors and the aspiring actors as well, share knowledge together, reconstruct the change, conduct pilots, have an open space place, have this physical place where we can feel and where we can taste, we got to be able to eat it as well, and where we can experiment with it, where we have the universities working on this. So that's going to be a second part, but I think the second part is never going to succeed if we don't have this first part, because we do need the sexiness back. We need the consumer to want this. So to start off with that, the consumer product. I've had a session with it. I had a kickoff of the Hemp Challenge about a month ago with about 30 friends who were working in sustainability or producers or entrepreneurs of other kind. We raised ideas, and this is a couple of products we came up with. There's a lot of textile-oriented products, as that is probably the most sexy or tangible thing. At the same time, obviously, that's the hardest thing to produce on a quick basis. I want to brainstorm with you about that a little bit further on. And then to the campaign. I want to show you a short movie, which is a very good example of getting something back in business. There it is.
Fruits and vegetables are facing an absurd situation. On one hand, people are encouraged to eat at least 5 a day, a lot of money for families. On the other, we throw 300 million tons of it away each year.
Tout ce qui rentre pas dans la norme, c'est poubelle.
As the European Union made 2014 the European Year Against Food Waste, Intermarché, the third largest supermarket chain in France, decided to rehabilitate the non-calibrated and unperfect fruits and vegetables. So we launched Les Fruits et Légumes Moches, the inglorious fruits and vegetables, starring the grotesque apple, the ridiculous potato, the hideous orange, the failed lemon, the disfigured eggplant, the ugly carrot, and the unfortunate clementine. Now, you can eat 5 inglorious fruits and vegetables a day, as good, but 30% cheaper. How did we do it? We bought from our growers the products they usually throw away, and sold them in stores. They got their own aisle, their own labelings, and their own spot on the sales receipt. For people to realize that they were just as good as the others, we designed and distributed inglorious vegetable soups and inglorious fruit juices. And it worked. Our new kind of fruits and vegetables were an immediate success. We faced only one problem: being sold out. 1.2 tons average spent per store during the first 2 days, plus 24% overall store traffic. This initiative increased awareness about food waste. It created a lot of conversation in social networks. Over 13 million people reached after 1 month, and had a big impact in the media. Finally, journalists suggested that every supermarket in the country should do that.
Et moi, je milite pour que ça continue, ça soit sur tous les supermarchés.
Bonne idée. The inglorious fruits and vegetables. A glorious fight against food waste.
Thank you. That's quite an example, isn't it? I think in many ways it corresponds to the challenge we are having. It's this obvious thing. Of course we shouldn't throw our fruits and vegetables away if they have the wrong size. Everyone would think that. But then again, it's such a challenge where to start. And they started with the consumer. They made it funny and crazy. And they started this silly campaign around it. And of course, they design the product because people want to taste it first. Are they good? Is this okay? So it's such an inspiring way to get something across, and it also shows how easy it is to get social media attention, to get free attention, as long as your idea is good, as long as your campaign is good. So, thinking on to this is what I want to do with hemp. You know, make this obvious thing, put it into the market in a simple way, and get the crowd to want this. And actually, hemp has a lot of things going for it. You know, there will be so many creative agencies and students really wanting to do this. To start off with, especially in the Netherlands, we have hemp as the engine of the Dutch prosperity. You know, we could get so many Dutch historical museums to go with this, especially in the time of crisis. You know, people want to belong to something again, go back to where they're from, and I think it's something that we could really use. Hemp is the forbidden fruit, obviously. You know, the word high could be in the high quality, high society. There's so many things you could do with that, you know, to just make a little nice connection, a sexy, kinky connection to that. Obviously, hemp as a natural solution to all our sustainability challenges. You know, that's an obvious one. And then, which is really my personal favorite, hemp as a symbol of power to the people in a nice way, you know, just like, you know, let us grow our crops, you know, let us have our natural resources. We can do this in a nice way. So this is just a quick thing I wanted to show you about the sort of campaign I'm thinking about. But as I have all you experts here together, my major question at this point is, what is going to be this product that I will be making? So in the Hemp Challenge, you all have your little post-its in front of you. I didn't have enough of those, so people who don't have them, either share them or use your own pen if you have one. There's a couple left in here which you could pass to the back. I got 3 questions for you. Are you ready? Yeah? Good, thanks. Fired up. There we go. The first one. What would be the best flagship product to design? And you can pick fibers, stalk, leaves, textile, food, anything. What do you think? Please write at least 2 ideas. It's about quantity right now. We can associate later on from quantity to quality. What would be 2 ideas of a relatively easy to produce product that we can make on a short term, which is representative for the strength of hemp, which could reach a big target group, which everyone uses, and of course is a bit sexy. Okay, one of the 4 is good. Please write at least 2 ideas. It's quantity, not quality right now. Whatever comes to your mind first.
Everyone will draw the hemp leaf.
Yeah. Sorry, 1 idea on each paper. Yeah, thank you. Paul. Could be a produced product you've made already, or maybe something you would always love to make. Or okay, I think most people have 2 products now. Excellent. We'll go to the second question, and this is really where I just want to lean on everything that you've experienced right now. What is the greatest pitfall I'm going to encounter in this entire process? From the marketing to the producing to the selling to what are the pitfalls you have encountered? What is something that I will have to be aware of?
What's pitfall?
A pitfall is like a hurdle, something that can go wrong. What is going to be something? Problem, yes. I don't like that word, but well, yeah. Okay, bottlenecks. Challenges. What is the greatest challenge that I will encounter? Thank you. Again, please write 2. 1 on each post-it. All right, and then there's my third question. What will be the key success factor for me? What does it do? What should I do? I like the noise of all that writing. That's great. All right. Well, there we go. Thank you very much already. There's 3 people who will help me, which will be Diego, who will be at the board of the pitfalls, and he will remember everything that you will be telling him there. Then there will be Louis, who will be at the breakthrough ideas for the products that you've been thinking of. And then here, Valerio, who will tell about the key success factors, the do's, what should I do. Right now I would like you to split up in 3 groups, and I will just do that like, here's one group, starting there, so everyone there is in group 1, yeah? Then everyone from here is in group 2, and this is going to be group 3, yeah? So group 1, please first go to the breakthrough products. Group 2, please go to B, which is the pitfalls. And group 3, please go to the key success factors. The idea is that you stick your post-its to the board and explain within the group why you think that's a good product. And that way I hope you share some knowledge as well. We have 5 minutes, then we turn around, and then we do another turnaround. Thank you.
La mallita rosa, la mallita roja,
¿Quieres pasar? Pásame tu cóctel. Group one, yeah, no. Guys, group one.
prohibities als je verbinden piccola stanno di scuola and everyone's very healthy and all the rest of the music to follow as a concept, the direct concept.
Yeah, explain exactly the difference. Explain the difference and then
How do you say a stick that holds a plant, that it doesn't fall? Yes, when you tie tomato on it, that it doesn't fall. How do you say wire and the stick that you wire a tomato on it? How do you say that stick? It's not a construction stick, it's a productive.
But that's brain. So really, the ultimate is no problem. And then we buy superstar. We buy
Then we need our own money.
our money.
Then somebody explained to me that the Jews, they take money out of hemp cells and then sold it to people with interest. I didn't know this. This first money they did different.
Money ain't no problem.
We need our own central bank.
Money is a problem. This is a very good discussion. Money is not a problem. We are all sovereign. What is money? Really, what is really money? Money used to be real. 20 years ago, money was real. Today, money is real. How do they make progress? Central bank. You understand that? This is
Got a pen. Please, pen. Oh, no.
Everyone, thank you. This was the first round. I would like to ask you to go to the second round. So I would like everyone to turn counterclockwise. So that group will go this like that. So go to the second board. Thank you very much. Sorry for pressuring you a bit, but we've got a short time for a lot of questions.
This is one. What are we doing here?
Our ideas.
Yes.
Ideas of stuff that can promote stuff. Basically ideas of hemp products that can promote themselves.
So sexy. She wants a sexy product, you know.
We want a sexy product.
Please stick them up. Be aware that some of them will not stick because the stick is just not that good. It's quite fatty, very greasy.
How's it going here?
Ideas. Yeah, this is what we are. I'm trying to get people to Alright, so let's see. Anyone want to explain some ideas? We have the underwear first.
Yes, guys, I've got the underwear. Sexy underwear. Sexy hemp underwear.
Sexy.
Great. And it's a little material. It's a lot of material.
That's good. High value product.
And we have an electric bike.
Yeah, I thought an electric bike was a good idea. Made from hemp plastic. It's very visible. Not as big as a car. I was thinking origin, but it's not a short term.
We're basically making it now for the cannabis bike trip. You know, we have in Spain cannabis bike trip and we're making 3 10 bikes.
I sponsored that. I sponsored the bike company. Actually, I remember had to make a hemp bike. I gave them the fibers and I think they needed it. And they made it. So yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then it can be made. So, yeah.
We have hemp condoms there. Someone just added. Would you like to explain?
I got hemp condoms.
We have fibers, so we can make condoms.
I have now, for example, hemp lubrication and things
Yeah,
like that.
also hemp lubrication.
Yeah, I have.
So it's with
The underwear's down.
So you want to you can distribute products in Slovenia, yeah?
Yeah.
You want to be? Okay.
give me a business card.
Yeah, we go.
There we go, hemp business with hemp condoms. And we have
And sex.
Yeah, I thought green hemp lipstick. The green, it's cheap, it's easy, and it's very visible. So many people can do it.
Sounds good, Ernest.
The underwear doesn't want to be up.
This is green.
and we have the build this sexy useful house.
There it is.
Sexy.
For building sexy things.
I like that.
It's easy to make. There are a lot of people drinking. Yeah, it's good. It gives you a good price.
This year we are just
Starting with some kids play in the woods and found the used condom, tied up and something like this. Hemp condoms, biodegradable. So
They wouldn't find it.
They wouldn't find it.
They wouldn't be able to flick at you.
well, this is the idea.
As long as he doesn't buy the great juice with you. Yeah. Problem.
Use and it's gone.
And by normal condoms, there is no possibility to put a hole and to damage it or something. So
Hemp fibers are nice and strong, maybe a little bit itchy.
nothing leaks out. So
We could do something more.
Change the color. No, this is for the morning and for the evening. So, what do you think about the product? You can change the color. Then you will know what you will eat in the morning and what you will eat in the evening. No, for people.
Okay guys, we have to do the last turn. If you don't really get to mention all your IDs, I'll be here for another 1.5 days. So one more time, counterclockwise. clockwise, please.
But it's not easy to sell it to me.
Oh yeah, you group 3? Yes. Wow, look over here. You're over here. How's it going? Welcome guys. Ideas please. Sexy laundry. That is our second one today. Welcome. We have some sexy right here. Would you like to explain what you made out of hemp? So sexy laundry made out of hemp?
Yeah, in other words, it needs to be soft. It needs to have properties that everyone suddenly gets
Everything. We have aroma. I've actually been told that there's yeah. Liver stress is actually going to launch genes. So liver stress is no problem. So we're about to have genes everywhere. It's good enough for everyone.
It sucks. It's also nice man.
We will be here next year with government.
Everyone first have condoms. Yes, it was apparently there's already some hemp lubricant. I'll let you guys know. So the condoms themselves are not yet used, but apparently already some lubricants. Any other ideas?
No, one idea is draw attention that we could in the city sell 10 years a day, 10 years a day. So I'm very often asked, what is the plan? I could advise the patients another factor, essential, and we need a functional vessel like this.
Good. Okay, successful. We have no problem, and we have lots of great product ideas. We've got work to do. Come on.
Everyone is a plate.
I didn't write it.
I got the underwear, I got sexy underwear. That's not a lot of them. So we need to pay attention because I heard from the market very soon arriving sexy cream.
And we have the
Three items.
Right, guys, we're done. Thanks for the work. Yeah, I guess
Okay, everyone, I would like to go on all afternoon like this, but I guess we have to wrap up now, and just consider this as the beginning, and you can call all your ideas and your concerns to me next day. I'm going to ask the three people, Valerio, Louis, and Diego, to give a very quick wrap-up of what has happened in their section. Just a moment. Louis, could you give me the three most sexy, crazy, funky ideas you've for the hemp comeback product?
The three. I can sum up three different.
Hey, Sigel. Hi.
Hi, who's your ideas here? Hi, so we had quite a few great ideas. Some of them in terms of sexiness were around the same. We got suggested the green lipstick.
Yes,
lingerie.
green lipstick. I'll buy
We have
it.
a seller right there. Product already. We had the sexy lingerie and the condoms. Suggest the condoms, particularly lubricant, as apparently it's already been done. In terms of clothing, we had ideas for jeans and t-shirts, crazy funky t-shirts, socks as well. I believe there is that. And for we had idea for producing for the grounds to actually use parts of the plant to hold other plants. For instance, for the tomato plant that needs to grow, use hemp and actually integrate it around, so to try and make a full cycle of the greeneries. Those are the three summaries.
Thank you. Great. I guess a few of you took sexy very literally, which is good. Diego, could you tell me about the largest pitfalls that I will encounter on my journey?
Here we have three lines for the big problem of the hemp in the world. One is knowledge of technology problem, the harvesting, now loss in technologies, and another line is the money, the price of the products. We can compete with the chemical company or the another conventional system of production. And another line is the knowledge for the people. What? Another line is that the famous people, they can get his famous, so her condition of famous people, and get the, can trust me, to the people, all this knowledge, to get the change in the mass people, in the common people, to get knock the door of the companies, and they can go knock the door of the production people. Okay, this is the three lines, and I chose this or the, how can I say, no problem, everything's possible. This is the best what I chose.
Thank you. Yeah, that's there is obviously some pitfalls, but I hope that Valerio will tell us about the key success factors to overcome those.
This would be easy for me, but I don't know if we have a magic stick to realize everything on here. So finally, one of the more representative is to make soft the empty fabric. This is quite important because it's very difficult. A second suggestions is more for political, is to get free hemp everywhere. So maybe with the help of our political. So I mean, get free the cultivation.
Free in what way?
In any way. So taking higher also the taking higher the THC content and so on. So free. Taking away marijuana work from the things. And of course, promotions, communication, marketing, organizing people in event and so on should be the key of the problem. And the last one is just because this production don't have any problem to be recycled. So this is the things that I like.
Thank you very much, everyone. Excellent. I'd like to add one thing that Hannah actually mentioned, which is an important thing, is to gather people who have the same vision and who want to go for that because of their own drive and not because I would employ them or anything, who just want to join the challenge, which is an invitation to you all, actually, at the same time. If you want to join the challenge in any way, you are very welcome to. We can discuss how we can connect this through different countries. I'm not sure which one to press. Paul, you pressed the right one yesterday. The small one? Sure?
Yes. No.
All right. Thank you super very much. I'm really grateful for all your ideas and thinking along with me. If you want to follow this project, connect with me, or even participate in the Hemp Challenge in whatever way, please let me know. Also, if there's any ideas that didn't come really across in this very short term and short presentation, I'll be here for the next 2 days. So please just, grab me and tell me about your thoughts about this. That's all for now. Thank you very much. That's great.